Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Rob.
And this is Ask Rob and Rob.
Welcome to Ask Rob and Rob. Thank you for joining us this week, the week where we get political. We've got a really interesting question about something that may or may not affect the property market. We'll be covering that in just a sec. But whether you've got a political question, an economic question, a refurb question, actually, no, don't ask us a refurb question, but ask us most things you want to about property and we will answer it. There's a very easy way for you to do so.
There is. You simply call this number 013 808 00035. That's 013 808 00035. Normal rates apply. Or go to thepropertyhub.net/podcast and leave your recording there. Either way, it's easy to do, and that's exactly what Graham did. And Rob, it's his second question, greedy so-and-so.
Hi, Rob and Rob. Graham from Cambridge here again. What are your thoughts, please, on how remaining in or leaving the European Union may affect the UK property market? Many thanks. Bye.
Okay, thank you, Graham. Glad you asked that question because it's something that we've been asked a fair bit. When we were at the Property Investor Show, a few people who I was talking to asked this question. So Graham asked, how will staying in or leaving affect the property market? We can address both of those. And we will. But first, we were just chatting about this briefly before we hit record. I think it's worth saying that neither of us personally think it's going to happen. Now, I don't know why we're still in the business of making predictions, because I've been wrong about so many things in the past, but I personally can't see it happening. But what will happen is that in the lead up, you might see a few people holding off purchases. So you might see a bit of a slowdown up until the vote happens, because the property market, like any market, doesn't like uncertainty. So I think it's a certainty that we're going to have a little bit of a slowdown up until the vote happens. My prediction is that we'll end up staying in. But what will a decision either way actually mean?
If we stay in, then we might have a bit of a bounce afterwards. But because I really don't think the general public thinks we're going to leave, that people might want to leave, but generally I think most people you speak to think it's not going to happen, no matter what your view is on the situation. The recovery will be slight, but it's not going to be a massive bounce upwards because I don't think it'll take a massive downturn because of it either. I think the real point is that it's highly, highly, highly unlikely for this to happen. Whether the side who wants to leave is very passionate, organised, whatever, the amount of uncertainty that surrounds the issue because people don't know what they'll be getting instead scares people. People don't like change. So because people don't like change, I'm super confident, just like tonight that it'll be dark and tomorrow it'll be light again, that we'll still be in Europe in 6 months' time. I don't think that it's going to have much effect. However, let's just say we do leave. Well, I think there could be some uncertainty afterwards, and maybe a few people will exit the market. But actually, any changes that happen and will come in as a result of this exit or potential exit are going to be so far down the line that I don't think it would have a major effect in the long term. I think really there might be some short-term nervousness. The markets might react. But remember, property is an investment that you just can't exit the next day. You have to put it on the market, find a buyer, sell it to them, go through all the transactions. Shares, that's a different story. And I think they'll be much more volatile based on what happens. But property, because it's a longer run thing and it's about longer trends, then I don't think it'll have much difference. So answer is really, really, really can't see it happening. So therefore there might be a slight recovery once that's announced. And if the unlikely does happen, then we'll see there might be some short-term volatility. But again, doubt it. So not that excited, Graham. We could have got a lot more dramatic, Rob.
Yeah, we could. That doesn't sound very exciting. If you're going to take the very long-term view, that if we do leave, then and a consequence of that could be curtailing population growth, which means the supply and demand balance could shift somewhat. But again, though, I don't see that making a big difference because we've got such massive demand, including demand from overseas investors and domestically, that I don't think a slight reduction will make that much difference. One possible consequence I've heard people talking about is affecting HMOs negatively, which it could do because often they are used by people who are newer to the country while they're getting established, often used by overseas workers. So if there are fewer people coming into the country in that capacity, then it could affect HMOs. Again, it's like lots of coulds maybes, perhaps, and it's all quite far in the future. So it's not something that I'm personally very concerned about either way. And I don't think it will make that much of a difference, although it doesn't make for that much of an exciting podcast.
Well, Rob, at least we've told the truth and given you our opinions. We could have jazzed that up a bit, but hey, at least you know where we're at. But where are you at? It's interesting. It's a really, really interesting debate, and some sides are very, very passionate about this. Passionate about why we should stay in, why we should leave, and also have strong views on what should happen with the property market afterwards, with the supply and demand issues, with who should be allowed in the country or not, what the regulations should be on property or eased off. There's so much to talk about and so much to discuss, and that's why the forum is ideal for this. What we'll do off the back of this episode is start a thread about the EU referendum and whether I'm going to stay in or out, and you can leave your view. So go to thepropertyhub.net/forum, check out the thread there, and leave us your view. What do you think? What do you think we should do? What do you think will happen? Let us know.
So get over there and let us know what you think, and also let us have your questions so we can keep doing an episode of Ask Rob and Rob every single week. We will be back with another episode next week. We will be back with the Property Podcast on Thursday. We'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.